Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Demenna. I am a licensed mental health counselor in the state of Florida, an anxiety and fear relief coach, and I am an individual who is super passionate about human development, uh, growth within the community, and I have a desire to really help people understand human nature and really to find healthy, productive ways to navigate their world, whatever that may look like or include. Um, it's been a while since I have posted to my channel, and today I wanted to share um, about a topic that I've seen a lot about and I've read a lot about, and I've actually experienced it personally and professionally as well. And so I really wanted to just speak on it today. And the topic of the video, as you've already seen it, is called Therapists Can Be Wounded Humans Too. So I first want to say that as I'm recording this video, it's 2023, November 1st to be exact, about to be 2024, which is wild because I started graduate school for counseling psychology in 2012 and I graduated in 2015. And I remember at the time I was super excited to be really pursuing my dream. I've wanted to be, well, I really wanted to be a psychologist when I was when I was in seventh or eighth grade. And so to finally be in, I guess, not just grad school, but really, to be in school for a topic that I really love and I'm super passionate about was really like a dream come true. Additionally, I really found out that I had a lot of personal work that I needed to do. And so, very naturally, in learning about the concepts of psychology and mental health and human behavior, family dynamics, relationships, um, history, right? Like the health history of someone, the health history of a family, right? How some families have health histories of like high blood pressure, or like high cholesterol. Other families may have family histories of mental health difficulties, to include history of depression, anxiety, panic, um, lower socioeconomic status, which can also really uh, affect someone's mood and day-to-day life and their ability to manage stress, right? So uh, naturally what ended up happening was, in my own experience in grad school, as I was learning professionally, I also had a lot of things personally come to the surface for me, so much so that I really needed to seek out therapy. And so I ended up seeing a therapist. Shout out to Kristen. She was a real one. And I saw her for therapy, I want to say for about a year and a half. And because I was in grad school, I could only afford to see her biweekly, once every 2 weeks. But I was faithful, I was consistent because I really needed to do my inner healing work. And not only did I need to do it, but I wanted to do it because I wanted to just grow. I wanted to heal. I wanted to not be weighed down by years of programming that essentially crushed my authentic self. And when I say years of programming, in my personal experience, I relate that to society. I relate that to the culture that I'm a part of. I relate that to interactions with people from other cultures and other areas. So um, my parents are from Haiti, and I was born and raised in America. And so as I grew up, I was really um, taking in two different cultural perspectives, right? So the cultural perspective of Haiti and also the cultural perspective of America. So it was a lot of conflicting information for me at times, and it was difficult to, I would say, at least for sure for the first 18 years of my life, it was difficult to even know who I was or really identify how to make my dreams come true, right? Like make my desires a reality, especially because for anyone that's familiar with um, the Haitian culture, and this may relate to some cultures within the islands and some cultures outside of the United States of America, especially anyone who may identify as an adult child of an immigrant parent, is that with some of the cultural perspectives within a cultural system, those things are passed down. And so it can really be conflicting to uh, have a cultural perspective that's very predominant and very enforced within a household, but then be living in a larger community that includes various other cultures. And specifically in America, there's a different cultural perspective than Haiti. And I also want to say, too, that if I'm talking about the topic of trauma, and I like to interchange the word trauma and use high stress or higher stress situations, settings, experiences. And I want to say that for me, with the knowledge that I know about the history of Haiti, is that there has been and still in current times significant distress, significant trauma, significant, how would I word it, strife within the community. And I say all of that to say that, all of these things are a part of the Haitian culture, to include, you know, um, how fiery Haitian women are, to include how amazing the food is, to include how just, family gatherings, how they can be so really beautiful, and the good memories of the Haitian culture. So as I'm talking about this, right, I'm not downing the Haitian culture by any means, but really just pointing out some aspects, just generally culturally, of how our settings and things that we see and environments that we are a part of, how they can affect us. So to jump back to me, um, when I was in graduate school, I had to do that personal work, and really and truly doing my own healing work saved me. Um, Especially now, uh, over a decade later, um, because I've been providing therapy since 2014. So actually, April 2024 will be 10 years, which is really wild and also pretty cool. I've learned a lot. I've worked in a lot of different mental health settings. And what I can say is that at this point, for sure, is that total body health includes mental health. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. It also includes physical health. And when I look back on just my personal experience and then integrating what I learned professionally and then all the experiences I've had up to this point, I really recognize how much I needed healing for my own, um, for the things that I was going through, healing to better understand myself, healing to better separate my experiences from others, the experiences of others, healing to know that, and healing to know that I was and still am worthy to pursue my goals, healing and understanding how to effectively communicate, which is still a process. And really also, especially from a professional perspective, doing my own personal work in therapy, specifically during graduate school, helped me to become a stronger therapist, a more effective therapist, a more ethical therapist. And I just want to say, disclaimer, I am not perfect. Definitely throughout the years that I have provided therapy, there have been times when I did not have the, I did not have empathy in ways that I could have and should have had based on the certain situations that individuals dealt with. I am proud to say that, though, to my knowledge at least, those situations have been minimal. And I would like to chalk that up to the fact that for me, I believe that intuitively I was meant to be a therapist, right? Like, I just, right, some of us may have like skills that are just like innate, or just like, it's like, dang, like, so and so just knew how to do that, right? For me, connecting with people, understanding people definitely is something that has been innate for me. And, my ability to grow my skill in understanding people, and not just understanding people to like pick them apart, but really to understand that even though we all live in our bodies, we all, to some degree do community with each other, is that we all have different perspectives on life. We all have different experiences, even if we grew up in the same household, even if someone was a twin, right? Like there's so many differences. And so for me, I'm grateful to say that my ability to do my own personal healing work, as well as to really learn from individuals in the community who have opened themselves up to me emotionally and shared parts of their life stories, the good, the bad, the ugly, has really helped me to recognize how important it is for a therapist to really be working on themselves and to really be practicing active healing. And as far as the title of the video, right, therapists can be wounded humans too. I just want to say that therapists really are human beings at the end of the day, and I want to say that. So I use Reddit pretty frequently, and there's a thread called Talk Therapy that I follow. It's one of many that I follow, and so I will read it, and people will share their experiences and questions that they have about therapy, and it just pains me to hear people talk about their interactions with therapists, uh, therapists who have not shown up um, in ways that they really needed to, as far as emotional, holding space in an holding space in an emotionally safe setting for someone, especially not just to hear them out, but really to do life with them in a sense. Because with therapy, I don't know if some of you may be familiar or may not, but one of the first things that I learned about when I was in grad school was something called the therapeutic alliance, which basically relates to the therapeutic relationship between the therapist and the client, how aligned they are, the chemistry that they have. So for clients that I have now, when I talk to them about this concept, the way that I verbalize it or relate it in just, I guess, like in a just like generally, is really like, if you're out and about and you meet someone and you think to yourself, oh my gosh, like they remind me of so and so from childhood and we used to cut up, blah, 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 blah. Or maybe if you meet someone and you're like, wow, like I feel like I've known them. Or if you've met someone or interacted with someone and you're like, yeah, I don't even really talk to them anymore because I don't kind of annoying. Da, 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 da. So those concepts really hold true even in the therapeutic environment. And the reality is that, and I'll say this from my perspective, is that the way that I view people in therapy who are clients, I view them as human beings. And for me, part of what helps me to provide really solid therapy to my clients is removing the veil of expert, or like a hierarchical system, or like a top down. I really invite my clients to share their perspectives, and I often advocate for them and affirm them, and sharing with them that their perspective is very much important, in a lot of ways more important than mine, as they're sharing their stories or talking about their narratives or talking about, positive memories, or things that have been really stressful or really traumatic or really difficult for them to walk through. And for me, I definitely believe that someone who's in a position of providing support, resources, especially with something as delicate as emotional vulnerability, there's such an importance in therapists, not just healing their wounds, but also really uh, having reality checks and reassessing themselves as far as how they're doing, is with regard to not even just their professional knowledge, but really like character, right? How are they showing up? I really consider and think about the topics. the topic specifically like related to medical health as far as with doctors like bedside manner, and even just more plainly than that, customer service, right? Serving people, providing people with respect, providing, really being humble. And so, again, not perfect, but I just share this to say that sometimes therapists can really be wounded, and sometimes they can work on their stuff and sometimes they may not. Sometimes they may have a superiority complex or just not even be in tune. And so I guess kind of in closing today, I just encourage any of you who ends up watching this video to be empowered internally by what feels right or not right with you with regard to who you're opening up yourself to emotionally. And in my opinion, it doesn't matter who it is. It could be a therapist. I mean, the person could have so many letters behind their name, but at the end of the day, nobody's going to know you more than you know you. Your opinion and what you bring to the table is incredibly important and is a very important aspect of therapy and connecting with the therapist. And I just encourage you to, in your own way, in a way that works for you, to really look out for yourself. Don't discount your ability to, in some way, shape, or form, take care of yourself, advocate for yourself, no matter who it is that is providing you with information or what have you. And I definitely encourage you to be empowered and also to continue to have hope in the field of therapy, even if you've had, really terrible experiences, and to each their own, of course, right? Just a little side note. I've had a couple of really not great experiences just in following years of, like, from grad school to the present of being with different therapists and having those experiences. So I just want to say that personally, I'm familiar with what it looks like when someone is just not, when a professional is not exemplifying and showing, the true internal traits and values that are needed for someone to really be able to help a person who comes to the therapist to help them have emotional healing and to understand what a healthy, emotionally safe environment even looks like. So, in any case, I appreciate your time in watching the video. I encourage you to share it. I encourage you to like it. I also encourage you to um, write any comments below on anything about this video that stands out. Maybe there was a part of it that I missed or didn't cover that could really be important and could help the community overall. And I encourage you to, write your thoughts out and just share with me, with us, just so that we can all work together to continue to uplift the society that we all live in while really creating emotionally safe spaces. And I definitely can't do it alone. And so, yeah, just appreciate you for being here. And I hope you have a great rest of your day and look forward to chatting with you soon. Bye.